Okay, who is this? Who is this?
I told you start of the call. Please from accidental name on a recorded line.
How come you're recording my call? I hate these cameras. Recorded line. Baloney.
When we look at the Google Earth of this location, it is tremendous. Give me a second, guys.
But he hopes to get them back.
So I want to just put up the Google Earth imagery of the location. And again, bear with me on this because I think this is important for everybody to see this.
33. I know it was close for
Don and Candace Wells gave his accounts. That's still all we know about the last time.
Coincidentally, that interview, our good friend Dr. G explains. I asked him to look into that full interview with Candace and Don. I'm going to send them links to that full interview, and I'm going to have him do body language. I know many people have done body language on that, but I'd like to get other eyes and other people's thoughts on it. So I'm hoping to do a quick collaboration with Dr. G Explains and get his thoughts, because I know we can all appreciate his expertise when it comes to body language analysis. And, I'd like to get his thoughts and his take on that. So that's coming soon.
Summer was seen. Almost immediately, Summer's parents became the center of a police investigation.
Summer's parents, Candace and Dawn, had something to do with this, or have you ruled that out? It's a real bank right now. Everything's possible. Could she have gotten herself into a situation where it wasn't her fault, but
No.
you know what I mean?
She's a good mother. She loves her children. She's not going to allow any situation like that. The biggest mistake she might have made is maybe choosing some off brands, which is, it happens.
Don.
Who here feels in the chat that Don and his wife have full knowledge of what happened to Summer Wells? If you feel that they do, press 1. If you feel that they don't, press 2. I'm not even going to give a third option. It's either yes or no. Either, do you feel that they have something to do with it, or some knowledge of what happened on that day? And Candace was with that young 16-year-old Hunter as well. We never really heard the results of the team.
Want to do this alone? Yes, I do.
We'll stop. You feel comfortable.
Since Summer's disappearance, Don says their life has been consumed by harassment from people online who believe they're responsible for whatever happened to Summer.
You're getting a mob going. My wife could go to the store and somebody would scream for a baby killer.
He sent us videos from one of his job sites where some people were demanding to speak with him about the case.
These are more jagalos. These very same people that are out here carrying out like this are mentally unstable themselves. And that's the most pathetic part of the whole thing, is that this circus on YouTube and these clowns that are followed down around with the cameras and everything, these are the most bizarrely twisted of people. They misery loves company, and they're all together. And when I saw this, I couldn't help but just say to myself, how ironic.
Todd says it's gotten so bad he had to leave the state. Now the two live in a hotel in Arkansas, where Don was able to find a new job. As for Summer's case, Don says they have private investigators working with police. The Hawkins County Sheriff's Office is still working alongside the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. Both agencies declined to give us an interview. Don says
News Nation, this is great that they did this on that 2-year mark. Right? The News Nation did a great job of covering this. But the footage that they're showing here is all from 2021. And none of it is in 2022, and none of it is from 2023. And what they failed to do in this piece is to show the public that the TBI and the Hopkins County Sheriff's Department are not doing any of what they're showing here. There's no more searching. There's no more ground searching. There's no more drone searching going on. I'm talking officially by the police. There may be private individuals that are throwing up drones and doing stuff, but there's no concentrated effort to search in additional areas. And there's so much property and ground to cover. There's so much additional ground and property to cover that how do you give up on a 5-year-old girl that went missing in 2021? How do you give up? How do you just say, I'm going to throw the towel in? I don't comprehend that. You know, I don't. Jeff Littenweiler says, can I say jagalones? Evil as son of a bitches? Yeah. So it's really very discouraging. And again, we're going to continue to cover it. We're going to continue to keep her name out there, her face. This just so down.
And Amber.
This is the local don't crucify me. WHLI, I think it is. They're Johnson City, Tennessee, a local. Let's take a listen to what Don Wells had to say. Even though the sound of his voice kind of makes me nauseous, because I know he's full of, and I said shit. I know he's full of shit, but let's take a listen and let's hear what he had to say on 2 years of his daughter under their report went missing. Well, I went inside. She went downstairs to play with her toys. I asked the boys where she was, and they said, Mom, she's downstairs playing with her toys down in the toy playroom, which we got to see that playroom. It looked like a dungeon. And then she said, oh, she was gone. She just was gone. I'll never be able to absorb that. I'll never be able to swallow that pill.
An Amber Alert issued 2 years ago to find Summer Wells is still active. Good evening, I'm Sarah Diamond.
I'm Josh Smith. Despite nationwide attention received by her disappearance, there are still no answers as to what happened to the little girl. The most significant recent development came yesterday when an age-progressed image was released showing what Summer could look like now at the age of 7. That's the photo on the left of your screen.
Summer was 5 when she disappeared. The Tennessee Bureau of Investigation says there are no new details they can publicly release. But we have team coverage tonight. Clarice Shaley is at a vigil to help find Summer and honor other missing people.
But first, we'll go to Ansley Daniel, who spoke with Don Wells, Summer's father. Ansley, you've been tracking this case from the start.
Yeah, Josh and Sarah, here we are 2 years later, still trying to find out what happened to Summer. And tonight, her father is seeking some answers of his own.
I'm just having to put my faith completely in God and know that He has a better plan. And that's pretty much where I'm at. My wife is still struggling.
A lot has changed for the Wells family over the last 2 years since their daughter Summer went missing from their Beach Creek home in Hopkins County.
Social media have come out, and protested at my job, everywhere we go, and so it's hard for us to get any work or anything in Eastern Tennessee.
Wells says he and his wife Candace have been in Arkansas on and off for the last few months, where he's been working in construction. He also says they've been working with the Department of Children's Services there to get their 3 older sons back. They've been in Tennessee DCS custody since the month after Summer was reported missing.
I want to ask you too, and I know I'm asking a lot of questions here, but how many of you here, and I know we're all parents, or most of us are parents or grandparents or, aunts, uncles, and I'm very sympathetic to children being separated from their families. But how many of you guys here feel that the three children should go back with Don and Candace Wells? How many of you feel that they'd be safe back with the way we see Don and Candace Wells acting on a public forum like YouTube, and the way they act on camera? God only knows how they act off camera. But how many of you here legitimately want to think about this? Do you feel that Candace and Don should have their 3 kids back, and that the state would be okay by giving them back to them? Put a 1 in the chat if you think that they should be back. Put a 2 if you say, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. There's my 2.
Missing.
I think they're scared of our house because of what happened. It's one of the issues. So we would like to buy another house here in Arkansas.
The house he's referring to on Ben Hill Road is where his daughter was missing from.
We couldn't understand what happened this summer. The police couldn't understand, and they were questioning us. At times they were hard on us. Other times they weren't. It just depending on, what police agency was there at the time.
2 years later, he and Candace.
He's making a reference of the TBI and the FBI railed us. They were forceful. They used proper tactics. And when we got interviewed by the locals, it was just a joke, probably.
Have no clues as to where Summer is.
We try to bounce things off of each other all the time. We might have talks about, some of the drug activity that was going on at the time and was going on right after her disappearance for quite a while. But yeah, there's nothing new.
Don says the family stays in touch with law enforcement through their private investigators.
About 2 months ago, they talked to our private investigators, and the FBI did, and they shared what they could with us. I mean, they're just trying to come up with any new information or leads that they possibly could. And so far, we just haven't been able to come up with anything.
As 2 years pass with no new information publicly released, Don says the emotional toll is weighing on the family, especially Candace.
She's been burnt by so many people. They want to, supposedly, interview her or help and stuff, and then basically turn on her in every imaginable way. She's been hurt deeply by these kind of things.
Let me add on to that nobody on any social media platform should interview anybody that was with Summer on her last known day that she was alive. And that would be the day she was reported, June 15th, 2021. Whoever was with her that day, the only people that should have ever interviewed them, and unfortunately this is too late now, but I'm saying it because I'm sorry, I just have to say it. The only people that should have interviewed anyone that was around Summer Wells the day that she was reported missing was police. That's it. So anybody else, whether you're a private investigator or retired police or whatever, shame on you if you interviewed that Hunter kid, the grandmother, Candace, Don, and anybody for that matter that was in contact with Summer Wells that day. If you interviewed them, shame on you. Disgusting, despicable, because you don't have the best interest of justice at the forefront. You have your own best interest of, look at me, I got this interview with Don and Candace and Hunter. That's the most shitty thing that anybody could ever do. Despicable. But again, it's already water on the bridge and done. So shame on all those people. Right up the whole daisy chain.
Plus the thought that, we lost our daughter, and our boys are in custody also with the CPS.
He says they haven't been able to talk to their sons.
Well, at first we were allowed to talk to them and everything, but we haven't been able to talk to them for about 6 months. No contact or anything like that. And that's all we want to do, is be able to tell them that we love them and we're rooting for them, and we're working on things to get them back.
Hope is hard to hold on to after all this time, but Don says he's clinging to faith.
Whatever the outcome is, I have hope in God, and one day, either sooner or later, I will be with my daughter again.
I've reached out to the.
I'm sick of hearing of that. Don says that every time he's on camera. You know, listen, I don't buy his bag of shit. And the bottom line is the stories that they're telling they don't jive. None of it makes any sense. And at the end of the day, the waters have been so muddy because of all of the jagalonism, all the negative false narratives, and the nights of hours and hours of wild speculation and so forth. The evidence is the only thing that will bring us to justice. The truth is the only thing that will bring us to finding out what happened to Summer that day. And I feel that early on they had a chance and they had an opportunity to get that truth. And it was a small window of opportunity, and that ship's already sailed. And whoever was on the case investigating early on didn't seize opportunities. And that's all I'll say. But we're never going to give up on Summer Wells. We're going to always continue to talk about it. I have a lot to say about Hawkins County Sheriff's Department. And if you tune in tomorrow, I'm going to be live with, I'm hoping Ed Wallace will be available, and Dave Rader from EquiSearch Midwest, because I have some things that I want to expose to you guys about communication that I tried to make to Hawkins County Sheriff to offer additional resources. And we'll get into that tomorrow, so make sure you tune in. If you like all things true crime related from the police detective's perspective, I'm also a law enforcement liaison for EquiSearch Midwest. Please subscribe to this channel, hit the like button, share it out to your social media platform. Pray for the innocent people of Israel, and also folks on the front lines in this war in the Gaza Strip, the good human beings who are trapped there and being controlled by radical Islamic terrorism. Just send them strength, prayers, and positive vibes. The good people, the Israeli soldiers, and everybody that's volunteering. 300,000 call-ups, volunteers that are out there. Most of them are 19 and 20-year-old kids. So war is never a good thing, but we send strength, prayers, and positive vibes. We ultimately want to have peace in that region. I don't know if we'll ever get it, but please, everybody, keep them in your thoughts and prayers. We're going to go over to Attorney Melanie Littles now when we're done here. Let her know that you came from Crime Time with Duty Ron. Check out what she's talking about. I don't know the exact case. I'm not really familiar with it, but she's going to be discussing a case, and anything that she does is always comes from a very smart, brilliant perspective. She's an attorney and she knows her stuff. All right, guys, on behalf of Crime Time with Duty Ron and the complete community, sending strength, prayers, and positive vibes for Summer Wells and for the good folks who are trying to do the right thing. So God bless the world. God bless the United States of America. God bless each and every one of us here in the chat. But especially Summer Wells. We want to bring her home so she could be laid to rest. God bless. Talk to you soon. Peace, guys.
Welcome to Powerful Living. I'm Brian Brody, and today I'm excited to tell you about the next generation in solar generators, our brand new Perfect Power Next, the world's very first smart solar generator, a solar generator that gives you complete control of your own supply of electricity, your own power plant, with a simple touch on the all-new Powerful Living Energy app. Now, in this short video, I'm going to show you why there's simply nothing else in the world like the Perfect Power Next, and why the cutting-edge technology in the Perfect Power Next really does make it the next generation in solar generators. We're very proud of the fact that the Perfect Power Next was designed here in America for Americans who want an easy to use, we like to say, a point, plug, and power up way to generate your own supply of backup electricity anytime you need it. So let's take a look at the 7 reasons this brand new solar generator has changed the way off-the-grid electricity is produced forever. First, we know our customers want the ability to expand their system in order to add more storage capacity. So we've made that easy with our stackable smart battery pods, designed to boost your system's expandability. And let me show you how easy it is to add 167% more storage capacity by adding a single smart pod to your system. Add 334% more storage capacity by simply adding 2 smart pods. Get an astonishing 501% more storage capacity by adding a 3rd smart pod. We've made expandability easy, simple, and fast. With the Perfect Power Next, you can literally daisy chain an endless number of smart pods to your new system, making the Perfect Power Next the only expandable solar generator